I am Frankie Campisano. I'm an 18-year-old writer. I attend Elon University. Pretty much a full-time student right now. I'm still adjusting to university life. So it's mainly write, schoolwork, go to class, flirt with girls, go to sleep. I do find time to eat and watch Doctor Who. But I guess, other than that, I am a student, a writer, a teacher, a friend, a lover, a fighter, a poet, and a religious icon. What got me into writing was just storytelling. It's just part of my personality. It's just part of who I am. I've always been a writer, and I always will be. I just like to tell stories. I like to entertain people. But the business aspect of it, making money, doing it as a career, above all else in life, I aspire to be happy, to live a fully realized, fully satisfied life. So writing makes me happy, creating art makes me happy. If I succeed at it, I can make ludicrous amounts of money. So the two just go hand in hand. The novel is called Project Nova. It's about a New York detective who gets wrapped up investigating a government agency that has ties to his entire family, and the mysteries that unravel from there. It's an exploration of nature versus nurture dressed up as a Hollywood blockbuster, so I can kind of hit all my audience bases. It's also a love story. Love is a big element in what I write, for personal reasons, and because people understand it. It's going to be released sometime this year, probably in the next couple of months. I've still got a little bit of editing to do. Then I've got to market it and release it. It's going to come out on iTunes, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, which is an ebook specific site. It's going to be in an ebook format and via CreateSpace, which is an Amazon tool. Physical copies will be available as well. It's going to be $3.99 for the ebook version at 120,000 words, which is slightly above. Well, the average novel is actually 60,000 words, so it's double the average novel, which is probably my fault, completely my fault. I'll take blame for that. So it's 120,000 words for $3.99, or if you buy the physical copy, it'll be the same 120,000 words for $7.99. I started writing it 2 years ago as part of just a writing exercise. I was just writing to write. There was no purpose behind what I was creating other than I was just, doing what I always do, sat down to write. And I liked the characters, and I liked the situation, and I wanted to know who they were, how they'd gotten to that situation, and where they were going to go from there. And so I fleshed it out, I revisited it, it became a full-fledged manuscript, and the rest is history. Or it's this story. That's a terrible pun. Please don't include that. I write about love, life, happiness, sadness, people, places, things, experiences, dreams, my city, my country, my thoughts on the world, on life, and the universe. It's literally anything. Just a big driving factor in creating art for me is that I want to create something that'll last longer than I will. It's the most viable way for me to achieve some sort of meaning in existence, some sort of grasp for immortality, to create a work of art that outlives me, which is morbid but also a substantial achievement. I write to express myself, I write to convey emotions and feelings, I write to take things that are tormenting me inside and push them away, or to revisit things that are no longer there. It's very exploratory, and I think more people should write. I think even if you don't think you have the ability to, it's a fantastic way to just put yourself out there. I've always wanted to be a writer. When I was a kid, I used to, how kids play with like toys or action figures or whatever, and it's like it's like a pickup game essentially. I was different. I had strict continuity between play sessions, so if I played with a certain set of toys one week and didn't touch them again until the next week, I'd pick up where I left off. There was a plot, there was an ongoing storyline that I created and that I maintained. and if anybody wanted to play with me, they had to be brought up to speed. So I guess I've always wanted to write. I've been writing and telling stories in various ways since childhood. Since before I could read and write truthfully. I know I've always wanted to entertain too. Like, it started out as being an editor, and then that quickly wasn't enough for me. I wanted to be able to create my own stuff. Then I moved into wanting to write, and I was very adamant about that dream, but I abandoned it after a certain amount of time, strictly because the challenge of making it in the industry was something that didn't appeal to me. I was afraid of taking those risks. And so I got more involved in marketing and advertising, promotion, and thought, oh, I can create commercials, or I can create marketing plans, and I can be creative in that way and have substantial amounts of money coming in. I used substantial a lot, so I could have a steady income that way. But as I got older, my priorities shifted, and I really did realize that at the end of the day, I want to be happy. And creating art makes me happy in a way that very few things can. So I find inspiration in the everyday things that I go through. I find inspiration in works that really speak to me. My approach to writing is that whatever I create, I want to be able to say that this story could not have been told any other way. So I look at inspirational works for me, like House of Leaves by Mark Danilewski is a story that can only be told in a prose format in that novel. You cannot take the story of House of Leaves and adapt it into film or television or a comic book or a video game. It has to be a novel because of the way it's written. And that's what strikes me as the way to survive in entertainment, is do something and do it in the way that do it in the only way that it can be done. There's a quote from a band called Transit. The lines are, "You made me into a monster, so I made you into art, and I gave it to the world to rip and tear apart." Which sounds really cheesy when you say it out loud, but it's a good metaphor for why and how you create these things. Because there are experiences and people and feelings that just live inside you, and then you put them out there to the world and let the world do with it what it will. I plan to release Project Nova sometime this year and market the hell out of it. I'm treating it like a door-to-door sales project. I'm going to just try and get as many sales as I can, drum up support for it. Then I'm going to work on my second book, The Street Artist is what it's called right now. And that one's a lot shorter, but it's, I think, a little more personal, a little more autobiographical. Project Nova is the result of who I was 2 years ago, and the new one is the result of who I am this year, and it's a stark contrast. And so I look forward to diving into it. Career-wise, I don't know yet. I'm going to keep studying, keep honing my craft, keep making connections and meeting new people and building the groundwork for my career, and then I'm going to see where life takes me, because I'll be happy to work for any company that'll have me if I can create and have a good time. I'll be 28. I'll be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of you asking me this question. I see myself married, hopefully with a kid or plans to have a kid. Yeah, married is the big one. I'll be living out in California or New York, depending on career-wise where I have to go. Ideally, I'd love to live in San Diego. It's my favorite place on the planet. I'll be working, creating, hopefully making a name for myself, and hopefully people will be proud of me. I have a Twitter where I post vulgar and obnoxious things and commentary. It's generally pretty witty, but a lot of it is in-jokes or references or song lyrics or ridiculousness, but every once in a while there's a gem, so that's twitter.com/Frankie IV, and that's the number 4TH. I spell my name with an IE. No one spells it with a Y. I don't know anyone that does. If you're a Frankie and you spell it with a Y, just stop. I have a portfolio online. It's fcampisanoiv.blogspot.com. It's just a link to a bunch of different things. I have a Tumblr where I post things, and that's where I've amassed an army of fangirls. So that's Frankie IV, again 4th, .tumblr.com. I'm on Facebook as Frankie Campisano IV. And if anybody wants my cell phone number, you're welcome to ask. That's a joke. I mean, maybe.